Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to the temple. We begin our service singing together, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. How beautiful the day is. It is Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
And we turn to page 172 in our prayer books to sing together Ma Tovu. For the Berlow on page 195.
Baruch Adonai, Amivorach, Le'olam, Le'olam Va'ed. Praise be the one to whom our praise is due. Praise be the one to whom our praise is due. Praise be the one to whom our praise is due. Now and forever.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל, המאיר לארץ ולדרים עליה ברחמים, ובטובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה וראשית. מה רבו מעשיך אדוני, כולם בחוכמה עשית, מלאה הארץ קנייניך. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארו חסלה. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מארה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. We turn to page 200 for the calling of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise.
And we turn now to page 204 to sing together Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'ilim Adonai, mi chamocha na'atar b'kodesh, norot te'ilot oseh felek. Shira חדשה, שיבחו גאולים לשמחו על שפת הים. יחד כולם הודו המליכו, ואמרו אדוני
rise for the tefillah on page 205.
Anananananana svatai tiftach Anananananana ufi agid tehilatecha Anananananana Adonai Anananananana svatai tiftach Anananananana ufi agid tehilatecha Adonai Anananananana svatai tiftach Anananananana ufi agid tehilatecha
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring near the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, and reaching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא לזה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך על הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכינו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. קדושתך נקדיש, בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם ישביעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. והשיר רצית בו וקידשתו שבת. חינוך יומי אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. למעשי בראשית שבת. למעשי בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי, שמרי, שמרי שבת, תקורא ענק שבת.
And we turn now to page 216 for the prayer for shalom, for peace and wholeness and wellness. O God, when we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace, let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bashalom.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Chin v'chesed v'rachamim. Chin v'chesed v'rachamim. V'rachamim, sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha.
We turn now to page 253 to sing together the Misha Berach, the prayer for healing and courage and strength in our lives.
Ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe berach imotenu mikol habracha laotinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
turn now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah LeShabbat, the order of reading from the Torah on Shabbat on page 244. Please rise.
מלכות כל עמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagidula, V'Hagivura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanitzach, V'Hahod. Ki kol b'shamayim u'haaretz, Ki kol b'shamayim u'haaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, Yamit nasi lichol lirosh.
Please be seated. So, this is one of the few Shabbatot in the year that actually there's a question, what is the Torah portion that we're reading? Normally, it's not a problem, but we're in a situation where there's actually not the same Torah portion read in all over the Jewish world, which is the opposite of what you learn in Sunday school. One of the things that we teach our students in Sunday school or in the kindergarten is that we're proud that all of the people of Israel read the same Torah portion every week. But that is actually not the truth, because we have a situation, and the situation goes like that. In the land of Israel, in the state of Israel, you celebrate every holiday only one day. Outside of the land of Israel, we argue. Reform Jews celebrate only one day, and conservative and Orthodox Jews celebrate 2 days. That's called the second days, the second day of Galuyot, meaning that second day that we celebrate in exile. Reform Jews say we're not in exile. We know what's the correct date, and we go by the way it is in Israel. So the last day of Passover, the seventh day of Passover, which is holiday, fell on Friday, as you probably all remember. It was not that long ago, which means that in Israel, on Saturday, they went back to the order of reading from the Torah, and they went back from Exodus to Leviticus. While conservative and Orthodox Jews in the United States and in Europe and in all over the world outside of Israel stayed in Passover and read the special reading from the Torah from Passover. So everyone outside of Israel is in a delay after Israel, and that would all be re-achieved after Shavuot. So just count 50 days and it all be okay. Having said that, as Reform Jews, what do? Do we read the same as our community, or do we read the same as our sisters and brothers in the land of Israel. So we're going to read the same way in Israel. That's why if you've been this morning at Anshe Sfarad or AJ before and read Achrei Mot, we're going to read from Kedoshim. It's a different Torah portion. Not sure it makes such a big difference for everyone here, but it makes a difference to some of us. Before reading from the Torah portion called Kedoshim, the Code of Holiness, we're going to go to page 250 and say the blessing before reading from the Torah. Please join Jennifer as she leads us with the blessing.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen.
וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל כל עדת בני ישראל ואמרת אליהם, קדושים תהיו כי קדוש אני אדוני אלוהיכם. איש אמו ואביו תיראו ואת שבתותי תשמרו, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אל תפנו אל האלילים ואלוהי מסכה לא תעשו לכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. וכי תזבחו זבח של עמים לאדוני לרצונכם תזבחהו, ביום זבחכם יאכל וממחרת והנותר עד יום השלישי באש יישרף. ואם האכול יאכל ביום השלישי פיגול הוא, לא ירצה ואוכליו עוונו יישא, כי את קודש אדוני חילל, ונכרתה הנפש ההיא מעמיה. In the translation, Adonai spoke to Moses saying, speak to the Israelites, to the all Israelite community and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, your God Adonai, am holy. You shall each revere your mother and your father and keep my Sabbaths. I, Adonai, am your God. Do not turn to idols or make a molten god for yourself. I, Adonai, am your God. When you sacrifice an offering of well-being to Adonai, sacrifice it so that it may be accepted on your behalf. It shall be eaten on the day you sacrifice it, or on the day following, but what is left by the third day must be consumed in fire. If it should be eaten on the third day, it is an offensive thing, it will not be acceptable, and one who eats of it shall bear the guilt for having profaned what is sacred to Adonai. That person shall be cut off from kin. This is a very famous Torah portion. It's one of the most quoted Torah portion. We also read it during the Day of Atonement, during Yom Kippur. It's what is called the Code of Holiness. By the way, it's also the most in common part of the Bible that is in common between Jews and Christians. This chapter is the most quoted chapter by Jews and Christians alike. Jesus in the Sermon from the Mountain in Matthew quotes it 8 times, just in one chapter, just this chapter. He quotes the verse that we all know by heart, love your neighbor as yourself. It's also part of this Torah portion. This is an amazing Torah portion. It begins by saying something which is opposite to the most important idea and narrative of the Hebrew Bible. It begins by saying, you shall be holy because I am holy, Adonai, your God. We always learn that Adonai is the total other, that Adonai is totally different from us. Unlike idols, Adonai is not part of nature. Adonai created the world. Adonai was here before the world was created, and if ever the world would be destroyed, Adonai will still be there. Adonai is not dependent, Adonai our God, on the nature of the world. And all of a sudden we are told we need to be like Adonai. We're not yet there, probably never be there, but we need to be like Adonai. And one thinks, how can you be like the most holy? How can you be like the total other? And the Torah portion says, by simple things. Don't do to others what you don't want them to do to you. So don't put a stumbling block before a blind person, or don't curse someone who cannot hear you, or don't do other things that will hurt someone else. But the idea that all your life you should strive to be better than you can ever dream to achieve. And in a way, even though it contradicts what we were told that we can never be like God, it's a very Jewish idea. Because the worst thing for a Jew is to feel that I've achieved everything that I needed to, that I'm the best version of myself, that I cannot do better than that. This is the best. That is the most mediocre thing for, I think, anyone, but definitely for a Jew, because we always strive to be a better version of ourselves. We always do atonement on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur in order to be better. And if you think coming Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, I have nothing to atone, I'm just perfect, then you have a lot to atone. And this is what the Torah portion is saying to us. Always try to be a better person. And how do you measure what kind of a person you are? With the way you treat other people. That is the most important thing for us. Let's say the blessing after reading from the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe, b'yad Moshe. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe, b'yad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael.
We rise for the Aleinu on page 283. Please join me as we read together. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
Va'anavnu orim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Please be seated. We continue together on page 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas. And light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Joshua Fink, Raymond Allen Sr., Elaine Glaugauer, Elizabeth Latz, David Parnes, Adele Aberson, Edward Friedberg, Hyman Friedberg, Ted Heidemann, Jonah Liebman, Adele Lucas, Malcolm Friedman, Jenny P. Kahn, Moose Shapira, Fred Shatramp, Harry Ofsevit, Bernice Rosenberg, Leo Kahn, Simon Z. Munitz, Kalman Stern, Maurice Bailin, C.D.S. Cohen, Clara Davis, Alma Strauss-Glassman, Melvin Gordon, Francis Levine, Ginger Lewis, Bessie Perlmutter, Rita Sloan, Roy Sloan, Nathan Spiegel, Fanny Weiner, Mardell Cohen, Jacob Garone, Irving Grossman, I.A. Rosenbaum, Sylvia Tostin, Flora Steinfeld, and in recent days, Barry Friedson, Sophia Wilder. We think of our loved ones, whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season in years past, and those who we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memories of our loved ones in our hearts, we turn to page 294 as we rise for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה. May the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen.
Amen.
Our closing song is the last words of the Kaddish, Oseh Shalom.
Shalom Aleinu, al kol Israel, v'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel, amen. Shalom Aleinu, al kol Israel.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And
Shalom.
please say Shabbat Shalom to someone you have not met before. Shabbat Shalom.